Good morning. It's March 1st. We're having some fun here at Longbow doing the videos. And I'm going to jump right into the dashboard because you're probably wondering after the PMI readings, a lot of volatility in the last few weeks, what is going on? I'm here to reassure you that we're pretty much in the range if you're looking at big picture factors. So if I'm looking at the SPY, so the S&P 500 ETF, we're in the range. Same for the Qs, so the NASDAQ in the range. IFA, that's International Developed ex-US, in the range. TLTs, 20 plus year Treasury ETF, in the range. Dollar index in the range. So all of those really big exposures that we often talk about are in the range. So again, nothing to freak out at. But you're going to want to delve a little bit deeper. And I'm excited to let you know that we have some videos coming out here in the next week where you'll be able to hear more about the signals that we're showing and learn how to put them together yourself or how to read our signals, the summary signals that we give, in order to make things easier for you to make decisions. So if we're looking at the SPY here, what can we see? We can see that the range was pretty wide here. And then, we've seen this ramp up. Remember in January, everything was rolling. People thought that rates were going to get brought down here in 2023. There was some then, disagreement on that in February. We've seen things move down. So the white line is the security itself, but you've seen the range being wide and then narrow and then wide and then narrow, and now it's been widening out. So that security price of $395 and change is still within the range, but you should be watching that and see how the signals have been moving. So in terms of short term, it's become more bearish. So you can see that there. But medium term, it's neutral because you had the ramp up and the ramp down. So it's been a more neutral situation. So how do you figure out what's going to do in the future? You have to think about obviously macroeconomic forces. Do you think that the growth of GDP is accelerating or decelerating? Do you think the growth of inflation is accelerating or decelerating? What's going to be the policy implications of that? And what we've seen in the data is it's been pretty sticky, right? So inflation's been sticky, and while growth has been softening a bit, it's still been holding up. So, you're going to have to do your own work on that, but stay tuned in the future. Maybe we'll be doing a little bit of that work for you. But for now, you have your own assumptions on that to say, okay, should I be expecting more bullish trend, neutral trend, bearish trend, some of these signals? And then you'll know how to use the trading range, right? So the low end and the high end of the trading range. But for right now, we're seeing that pretty much in the middle. But I did pick off two different securities that are our top 25 tab for you today. One is the low vol ETF called SPLV. And that is on an oversold basis. So people have been using this security as a use of funds, so using it to fund something else, right? And now it's oversold. So if you're a little bit worried about where the market's headed and you think that beta is not the way to go, but you have to stay invested, so you can't sit in cash or maybe go into short-term treasuries and maybe think about something for low volatility ETF like that. It's showing oversold on the trading range today, and it's on our top 25 highest potential upside versus the trading range. So it's at 4.1. On the flip side of that page, though, is natural gas. So it's not quite at the top end of its range here, so you're not seeing an overbought signal, but there you're seeing it a kind of a -3 and change to 1 asymmetry to the downside. So that's on the opposite side of the top 25 page. So if you think that the natural gas price and businesses will be declining, then obviously you're going to be looking at this top end of the range. So a little cue for you there to keep that in mind. But if you think that UNG is going to be strong, nothing to do today. It's kind of moving as you expect. And you just be looking at this range and more on the low end of the range to see when you get in if you're looking to build that position. So that's it for today. We look forward to introducing some learning and educational videos for you in the coming weeks. And I'll see you back tomorrow.